Here in Salmon Arm, British Columbia, for a Fighting for Food Security rally. There is a whole bunch of farmers here who are standing up for food freedom. And we're going to listen to some of the talks today. I was invited here by my friend Curtis Stone, the urban farmer. He is one of the featured speakers today. So we're going to listen to some of these talks. Let's go in and check it out. Okay, we got 25 people tuned in so far. We only got 5 thumbs up though. That doesn't add up, guys. Come on, share this video, share this stream. Let the world know we're live here in Salmon Arm, British Columbia for fighting for food freedom, food security. Hey guys, so once again, we're in Salmon Arm, British Columbia. We got a big rally going on behind me here. Let's get in closer and listen to some of the speeches.
So cute. That's some courage right there. Wow. It's impressive.
The little one down?
Oh,
Yeah.
Nice.
Hey, awesome. Got a shot of this crowd for you.
Well, good afternoon, Salmon Arm. You know, I said to Kyle when I signed the contract to come here that the only thing is I didn't run out of Macy.
Robert, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, right on.
Following your shit for a while, man.
Cool, awesome.
But you know, Macy gave more information about how to boost your immune system than Bonnie Henry has in a year. So I think we need to start a petition to have Macy's our chief medical officer in British Columbia. Well, I want to tell you my heart is absolutely full seeing all of you here. This is what gives hope for the future, is when we see people coming together in community with courage, with commitment, and compassion. We are in the battle of our lives. We're in an occupied country. Canada is no longer free, and it's no longer a democracy. And I think we need to recognize that. The tyrants that have taken away our rights and freedoms, that are violating it on a daily basis, are not going to give us back our rights and freedoms. We've bought into this illusion that if we just flatten the curve, we're going to get things back. If we just take a vaccine, we're going to get things back. If we just stay home, we're going to get back our rights and freedoms. That's not the plan. The plan is to capture us. And I have to say they've done a pretty good job. But things are changing. Most of us are pretty good people, and we were willing to go along thinking that this was well intended. But we have enough information now to know that we're up against evil. And it took me a while to admit to that and to claim that term, because it seems like a strong word. And it is. But if you think that evil is whatever goes against life,
only 25 thumbs up. Come on, people.
Then
Smash
that's
that
what's
like
happening.
button.
Our societies are not healthier than they were a year ago, they're sicker. Our families are not healthier, they're sicker. Our communities are not healthier, they're sicker. Our businesses are not healthier, they're sicker. We're going in the wrong direction here. And there's more than enough evidence to know that what they're doing isn't working. But it's pretty clear that they have no intention to take the foot off the pedal they have no intention to return us to our rights and freedoms, because there's a different agenda at work here. The agenda is not about health, and it's not about combating a virus. So we have work to do. You know, the Maasai people in Africa, the greeting that they use when they greet each other at the start of the day isn't the same kind of greeting we have, where we say hi or good morning or good afternoon.
Thanks for liking, guys. Don't forget to share.
The way they greet each other is with this. They say, "How are the children?" And the typical response is, "The children are fine." But I think that if we were to ask that question and answer the question honestly, the answer would be, the children are not fine. We can't leave this kind of life to our children and our grandchildren. We have to turn this around. Now, I think all of us need to take some responsibility for where things have gotten to. You know, I think we naively bought into the story that we fought evil during World War II and that the good guys won, the bad guys lost, and we're good for the rest of our lives forevermore. But that's not how it works. Evil doesn't sleep, it doesn't stop. Tyrants' greed doesn't get satisfied. And actually, Susan's story of her parents illustrates that over history, tyranny has risen over and over and over again. And then the people have to rise up, they have to claim their authority, they have to claim their sovereignty, they have to claim their power, and they have to push back the tyrants. Well, we have that job now. I had the privilege of having lunch with Maxime Bernier yesterday, and he said something interesting. He said, "We are privileged to be the warriors for freedom now." I remember growing up with stories about my uncles who fought in World War II and spent time in concentration camps, and how ugly that was. And then we thought we were done with that, but we're not. It's back here again. And I think we've actually allowed it to creep in over and over and over again. We've allowed our water to be poisoned, our air to be poisoned, our food to be poisoned. We've allowed our governments to represent corporations more than they represent the people.
Good call, Bennett. I'll get
We've
an
allowed the
interview.
media to lie to us. We've allowed our medical system to be captured by the pharmaceutical industry, and we have stood by and watched that happen.
Stay tuned for an interview.
And it's time to say it, enough.
This is
Now, I
in
have no illusions
salmon
that they're going to step down because we
Salmon or
come
BC.
together, whether it's 500, 1,000, or 10,000. I got an email from a fellow in Germany today who's part of a strategic planning group that I host every week, and he said they had crowds of 100,000 in Germany last weekend. But the government there did what the government here has done, is they imposed lockdowns this week. I have people in Ecuador who also contact me. Their government there imposed lockdowns this week. Do we think it's a coincidence that governments around the world are all imposing lockdowns this week, or is that part of the plan? So these measures have got nothing to do with case counts. They have nothing to do with hospitalizations, ICUs. They've got to do with the system of control and keeping us afraid. Their agenda
Here's
is
the
they
next
want
speaker,
all of
Curtis
us
Stone.
to receive that jab, and I'm not going to call it the V word because it's not a V. This is a medical device. It's genetic technology that has never before been put into humanity on such a massive scale. The ingredients have never been injected into humans before. None of the vaccines that are authorized have received formal approval. They've not completed the safety trials. And yet, it's being imposed upon us as if we have no choice. Well, we do have choice. I heard that the Premier of Ontario, Ford, announced this week is that they're going to start going door to door to vaccinate people. I'll share this with you as well. I got a phone call this week from somebody who said they work for the Ministry of Health in Ontario. They wish to remain anonymous, but they wanted me to know the mortality following the COVID vaccinations. And he sent me an Excel spreadsheet that was very detailed, and he compared the deaths following these injections with the deaths following 5 other commonly used vaccines: the MMR, influenza, Hep A and Hep B, tetanus, and rubella. And the results that he shared with me were absolutely shocking. This injection has a rate of mortality following the injections not twice as much as those 5 other vaccines, not 10 times as much, not 20 times as much, not 30 times as much, not 40 times as much, 44 times the rate of mortality following vaccination. And our governments know this, and they're still persisting in this human experiment. That says to me we're dealing with evil.
I do not consent.
I do not consent.
I do not consent.
So, this is what I think we need to do. The first thing we need to do is we need to turn off our TV and turn off mainstream media. There is the odd reporter who is telling the truth. Anthony Furry with the Toronto Sun in Toronto, I think, has written some really revealing articles, but almost everything coming out of CBC, out of Global, out of CTV is fully distorted, captured, corrupted. It's a narrative that is intended to further this capture of humanity. So turn it off. Do not give them your attention. The second is that we need to grow our network. Somebody said to me last week that our safety is dependent upon the network that we build. It's the family that we bring together. And as Susan alluded to, many of us have lost our family and our friends. They don't see what we see. Catherine Austin Fitz, when she was on a vaccine call a few weeks ago, she said, "Your family now is those who won't turn you in." And the third one is what we're also here to do. We have to figure out how to be more self-sufficient. We have to figure out how to not rely on the systems, because they are intentionally collapsing the systems. And so Curtis Stone will talk about growing our own food. We have to build networks with people, figure out what resources they have, what resources we have, and learning how to share those things.
I got chickens and ducks.
Rocco Galati has another group of clients that is part of the groups that he's supporting. And this group is farmers in Ontario who are not allowed to bring the migrant workers to Ontario this summer to help them grow their crops. They are intentionally getting in the way of farmers growing the food this year. And again, that's not by accident.
This is in Salmon, BC.
And the fourth is, I also want to say what Susan said, is we have to hold a high vibration. We have to be in peace, we have to be in love, we have to be in compassion, but we also have to be in power, and we have to be in wisdom. I believe there's purpose to all of this. I like to believe this is part of humanity's transformation. I think that we have acted like children. We have given away our authority, our sovereignty, and our responsibility to others, and it's time to take it back.
Hit that like button, guys. Smash that thumbs up. Share the stream. Thanks so much.
And so if any of you have seen the movie V for Vendetta, there's a line out of there that said, people shouldn't be afraid of their government. The government should be afraid of the people. We're going to get rid of these people that are against us. I predict we're going to have Nuremberg-style trials in the near future, and these people will be held to account. And with your courage and your support and your willingness to stand in your power and authority, we will win this. Thank you.
All right, guys, once again, if you're just tuning in, we're here in Salmon Arm, British Columbia. We've got a lot of great speakers today. The next one is going to be Curtis Farm, the urban farmer, Curtis Stone.
How about that Ted Kuntz, eh? I mean, he's a freaking Canadian, people. Yeah. I mean, that guy's just getting stronger and stronger every time we hear him speak. I just want to take a quick minute of your time here and to mention the concept of appreciation. To appreciate means to make bigger, to add to grow. And that's what Ted is encouraging each of you, and Kyle is, to appreciate the efforts that everyone here, all of these volunteers and real live men and women are doing to stand up for our rights and to live in a free country in a great place. So I want to appreciate the volunteers. And remember, appreciate means to make bigger. So the more you appreciate the people in your life, the more you appreciate yourself and the things you do. And when you're not doing a great job today, I can do better tomorrow. And then appreciate yourself when you do better, you know what I mean? So I'd like to appreciate a woman who's done phenomenal work in Vernon. She's a dedicated volunteer.
Salmon Arm, British Columbia.
Dedicated herself to helping the community of Vernon in so many ways and supporting as an outstanding volunteer. Can I see her, Sherry? Is she around here somewhere? There she is. And we'd like to call Heather Hillard up to the stage here. She's the chapter chair for Vaccine Choice Canada. She heads up the Vernon chapter. Look at all of these people clapping know her. Of course, come on. Come on, Heather. Let us appreciate you for 1 second here. This woman so deserves it. She so deserves it. And don't think she doesn't get tired. We all get tired. Heather, this is from Stand Up Vernon. Heather wasn't expecting this. And that's a nice thing about appreciation. You can surprise people with it, guys. It's very powerful.
Oh my God, I don't like speeches at the best of times, so all I say to the people in Vernon when we have our rallies and things is I don't know what else to do, and that's how I feel. So I don't know what else to do, so I just do what I do because if it's going to make a difference, I don't want to stop until I can see a difference. But I have to say, I was just saying on Friday when we had Maxime Bernier in Vernon on his stop, and I looked out into the crowd and I saw how many people that have touched my life in the past year, and I literally have I have one daughter on my side and one who isn't, and
for sure. Thanks.
None of my brothers are on my side. And I recently went to a psychic, and she had a visit from my dad and my parents, and they both were standing with me, and they told me to keep going. So thank you, everyone. We can do this. Just stay strong.
That's one of the most beautiful women I know. Let's give a big round of applause. We've got Curtis Stone coming up right away. He's just getting ready. In the meantime, Dan England is going to bless us with a couple of beautiful songs.
I'm only here because it's my PA. No, I'm only kidding. And it did say Dan England and friends, and you can see all my friends are with me.
Isn't that cool?
I've been doing this a long time, but the past year it's been few and far between.
Hey. Oh, of course.
Pretty big obstacle.
There you go. What's that? No.
Dan Dix,
Yeah.
big fan. I
Awesome.
think I owe you a few lunches.
Oh, thanks so much.
Just support you.
Really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. It's awesome.
Good work.
Thank you. Okay guys, once again, if you're just tuning in right now, we're in Salmon Arm, British Columbia. It's a rally for food freedom. We got a lot of great speakers here, a lot of farmers. Curtis Stone, the urban farmer, is up next. So we're going to stick around, get an interview with him afterwards. Guys, smash that thumbs up button, click the like, share the stream. We're going to check out a tune right now, and then we'll hear from Curtis Stone, the urban farmer. Boo farmers, says Jason. Yeah, they're going to be some of the most important people in your life.
New strings.
They already are, and yeah, you're gonna want to make friends with a farmer. Trust me, or become one yourself. Yeah, it's a little bit cold. It's not too bad though. Wife will come back for the speech. Come back for Curtis Stone's talk. My other phone, so I can get stuff out. As you can see, this thing's pretty big, pretty spread out right now. This is in Salmon Arm, British Columbia right now.
Thanks, Dan.
Hey, yeah, for sure.
All your work, buddy. I watch you all the time.
Right on. Cool, cool.
Welcome to Salmon Arm.
Yeah, thank you. This is beautiful. I like it.
You travel around a lot.
Yeah, first time here though. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Pretty nice.
That's all right.
Yeah.
We got a pretty strong group of people in Chase, farmers. Got a lot of good farmland there. And just
Yeah.
great people are there, and so we're keeping it real like that.
Right on.
You know, it's kind of hard to. And I met you at the Gord Scuda, and I lost your number.
Oh my goodness, and because I love the corn.
Hey, thank you.
Right.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, it's very nice to see you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, do you sign up?
I am not finding
No.
my wife.
For your email? Yeah, because I was really. Because you're still suing Bonnie or something, or?
Your stories. That's actually why I wanted Dan.
Hey.
You want to hear this?
She's good.
Yeah?
Yeah. So yeah. So
I'll stick around.
Yeah.
I'm live streaming just so you know. Okay.
Can we live stream?
Yeah, okay.
Are you gonna take it off like?
Yeah, I will be in a bit, yeah.
Okay, so come. I'm with Kyle, right? So
Okay.
come and find me because
Okay. Okay, we'll do.
yeah,
Okay. I don't want to miss Curtis Stone's talk. But, oh, there she is, way back there. You can see there's a lot of booths here. And they're doing a couple of songs right now, and then it's Curtis Stone. So, hey, good. How are you doing? Hey, how's it going?
I'm just wondering if you're making up the race line for this weekend.
To
Edmonton.
I wasn't planning on it.
So I just got the phone with Mark Friesen, and they blocked off the neighbor's property that we're going to have the church.
I know, I
Yeah.
saw that. It's brutal.
It's a mile-long walk now.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, so I'm going to be heading up there myself, and I'm not sure how you travel around or not, but if you want to come up there, you're more than welcome to. I got an FTC.
Okay.
I'll be back tomorrow after the service is over. Shake some hands, and then try to get back to the other.
Okay.
If you're interested.
All right. I appreciate it. Thanks. Hi, boys. These are my boys. Can you grab me my phone? Hi. I was looking for you forever. Hi, buddy.
yeah, they're barking at kids and dogs, and it's easier back here.
Okay, I'm gonna go try to plug this in somewhere. Set it down. Okay, guys, once again, if you're just tuning in right now, we're in Salmon Arm, British Columbia. It's for a food freedom rally, food security. A whole bunch of farmers here, and we're about to hear from Curtis Stone, the urban farmer. He invited me to come out here, so I was like, yeah, a rally for food freedom, count me in. Yeah, Salmon Arm today. It was a bit of a trek to get here. Sorry, I'm trying to get the mic out of the wind. 7-hour drive for me. So I'm staying out here for a couple days. If anybody wants to pitch in, help me out with that. pressfortruth.ca/donate. Links are in the description area below. But yeah, Salmon Arm's pretty beautiful here. And again, Curtis Stone is about to be up very soon. So let's go get a good spot for his talk.
What you doing, man? Good
Oh, right
stuff.
on. Appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Videos.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Cool. What was your name?
Sylvain.
Sylvain. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right on. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for coming out here.
Yeah.
Are you
thanks.
from around here or you're from the
No,
coast?
no. I'm actually from Toronto. Yeah.
Toronto, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I went to University of Toronto.
Oh,
the
really?
Music school there, yeah.
Okay, music school.
Yeah.
Which one?
University of Toronto and the Royal
okay.
Conservatory.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
I went to Harris Institute. It's music, but
Yeah, I remember Harrison.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I went-
for
I
sure.
went there.
Engineering board side.
Yeah,
things.
exactly.
Yeah,
I did that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The production side. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Cool.
I try. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
it's great
Yeah.
to hear. It's
This sounded like a great rally, so I'm happy to be here.
Hey, great turnout for such a small
I
community,
know.
you know?
I know. Yeah, it's great. Yeah. Looking forward to hearing from Curtis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Guy's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're staying out here? You're getting around the whole country, or you're moving around all the time?
Yeah, I'm sticking around in BC for now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit more relaxed here in a way.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
My son lives in Ontario, and it's
brutal. It's brutal there. Yeah. No worries.
Hi, Karina. How you doing? Oh.
I'll see you.
Okay.
See ya. See ya. All right, meeting lots of great people here.
Okay, we got another speaker.
That's Dan England, everybody. He's the reason that our voices are louder here. If everyone can gather around here, we're going to bring on a very special guest that has traveled from a distance to come give us some great education that we need to hear right now. If I can say anything to you guys, go from here, get your seeds, make sure they're organic, and start planting some gardens this year. Nothing is more important than having you guys not be beggars a year down the road when there's nothing on the shelves. So please, let's get out there, let's grow some food. Okay, everybody, we got Curtis Stone.
All right. Happy to be here. Beautiful cold day. Still waiting for the promise of that global warming, though. That would be nice.
All right, Curtis Stone in the house.
I remember 10 years ago when I started farming, in this exact day in April, it was 30 degrees in Kelowna. It was insane. I was rototilling in January, and I swear it's been getting colder. I don't know about you guys, but it's been getting colder for me. As somebody who spends a lot of time outside, I notice these things, and it's been getting a lot colder. So today, I'm not going to sit here and give you guys gardening advice, only because I have literally thousands of videos online of doing that. And that's been my life's work, and I'm passionate about that. And I'm passionate about food
We're
production.
live right now,
Tie what
live
I'm
on
talking about
YouTube,
today into that
watching
to some
Curtis
degree.
Stone, the urban
But I'm
farmer.
just curious.
Go check
Out
it
of all the
out.
people here, I see
Salmon Arm, British Columbia.
looks like a
Check
few
it out.
hundred. How many of you actually grow food? Oh wow, a lot of you. He's got chicken and ducks. Okay. That actually looks like the majority of people here. That's good to know. I've said this for a long time, but I think it's actually more important than ever, is that there's actually never been a better time in our histories, in our lifetimes, to be farmers. And there's a lot of reasons for that. One, I would say, which is most poignant right now at this juncture in time where we are, is that we are on the precipice of a medical apartheid. And I think you guys know what I'm talking about. Ted alluded to it a little bit there, but this whole idea of this vaccine passport, right? Like, everybody's talking about it. It's all over the media. Mockingbird Media is putting this message out all the time. This is what they do, right? They seed little bits of what they're going to do, and then 3 months later they do it. And over this whole year, I don't know if any of you paid attention. I'm sure a lot of you are, especially the ones, there's 300 people here, you're paying attention, is you'll notice a trend in the media is CBC calls something fake news and conspiracy theory, and then 3 months it happens. And they report on it. This has been happening the entire time. And it's going to keep happening. And they're telling us, oh, we're not going to lock you down more, and whatever. People are just so brainwashed that they just go along with it and they don't even question anything. Because for the last 50 years, it has been a constant hammering in the media, the narrative of trust the experts, trust the science, right? Hammering that into our heads so that every time some bozo gets on the television with a white lab coat, we go, oh, that must be truth. People don't think about things for themselves. They don't look into things for themselves. And this is one of the problems with this sort of dehumanizing term that's thrown at us all the time, is calling them, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. Right? And that's just a way of diverting anything, the conversation. It's over. Oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. But I've never been interested in conspiracy theory. I've just been interested in facts. And the thing that's so amazing about what's going on, if you actually read the literature of a lot of these cronies, and I've spent quite a bit of time reading this stuff. This is when my family is asleep and my brain is still going crazy, I read. And you can go and look at the literature from a lot of these globalist characters that have been around for a very long time. People in these groups like the Council on Foreign Relations, the Trilateral Commission, the Bilderberg Group, these same old geezers, they write about this stuff. And so everything that's happening now isn't a conspiracy in that it's hidden from us. It's actually way out in the open. They wave it in our faces. Go and look at any of these documents published by Johns Hopkins, WHO. I'm sure a lot of you heard about Event 201, right? When did that come out? It was like August 2019, and then boom, 6 months later, this thing happened. All of this stuff that's happening now has been written about, and that's the thing that is sometimes hard to cut through the weeds in, because the mainstream likes to dehumanize us and degrade us by saying, we're right-wing conspiracy theory, right? Alt-right, and all these sort of buzzwords that they use to just disregard you. But all this stuff has been written about. Just look at Klaus Schwab, our Count Schwab, the sort of character, this nefarious character. He's like a James Bond villain. It makes me wonder if actually all James Bond villains are actually based on him. Because this guy's actually been around for a while. And all these guys, like Zygmunt Brzezinski, I always have a hard time pronouncing that. All these globalist guys, they've written so many books about all this stuff. A medical technocracy has been what has been planned. Read a book like Tragedy and Hope, which is a really hard book to read, but it's 1,300 pages long. This guy, Carroll Quigley, he basically documented the elites for 20 years. He hung out with them at Yale and Stanford and Harvard, and he was going to be their great historian. He talked Henry Kissinger, all these cronies that we've seen in the public life forever. They all talk about what they wanted to do, and they have been drooling over the opportunity for a medical technocracy. And that's where, in my opinion, what happened over the last 50 years is they were really hoping that this narrative of climate change would work for them, because they got a little bit of momentum. A lot of the kids bought into it, but there was so many holes in the story that people were going, I don't know, this thing's not working. And then they tried the medical thing, and they tried that many times before. SARS, N1H1, mad cow disease, they've tried this stuff before. But what was the thing that made this one work? It was toilet paper. I'm not kidding. It is a joke, because that's how these assholes operate. Sorry, I don't mean to swear. And no pun intended either, actually. But this is how these people operate. And they wave it in front of our faces. And the thing that is so amazing about what's going on now is it's actually easier than ever to actually get to the truth, because there is something going on right now. And Ted mentioned it as well in his speech, that there is some kind of awakening. And there's some things going on that are bigger than all of us right now. And I think a lot of that is a spiritual awakening. And things are coming to light. And maybe it's just ironic that last year was 2020, but everything became crystal clear in that year, at least for me. Because I've been researching this stuff for going on 20 years. And when this started to roll out last year, it all seemed so obvious to me. And the thing that is very painfully obvious right now is how this pharmaceutical industrial complex has intervened in our lives. And I want to share with you a little bit of something that I went through last week that really made it even more clear to me, and makes things clearer than ever at how we operate and how we move through this system as we try to find some kind of redemption, some kind of real justice. Is I was at my dad's bedside for his passing, and everybody goes through this. Everybody's gonna be there. Hopefully you'll be there, but everybody's gonna have a parent that dies at some point. And I was very blessed to have the opportunity to actually take time away from work, and my wife, with her support, time away from my family, to be there for my father.
Yeah, of course.
And he had a stroke, and basically there was no real coming back from it.
Good to see you.
But the thing that was so apparent to me when he came into the hospital is they just had him drugged up like crazy. And so drugged up that he just wasn't there. And after the first 24 hours, I was there for basically 3 days straight. And the first 24 hours, I really started to think about this. Why is he on all these drugs? If this is the end of his life, why are we on all these drugs? And I really started to reminisce about the sort of transcendent experience with the birth of our children. My wife and I, we both had natural births. I delivered both my children with my bare hands. It was the most transcendent experience I've ever had in my life. No medical interventions whatsoever. But when you start to look at birth and that process, you also see how the pharmaceutical industrial complex is completely intertwined in that entire experience, right? Get the mother drugged up, get her epidural, remove the entire visceral and painful experience of having a child and bringing life into this world, make them so numb that they don't even experience it. And that's the thing that occurred to me in the death of my father, is they not only do this when you're born, they want to take every experience that makes you on this earth a God-given creation, powerful, divine, that comes down here to experience life in all of its capacities. They want to take it from your birth, and then you pay taxes your entire life, get yourself in debt, and then even in death, they want to rob you of that experience. And the reality is that's what this system is that we have. And I'm not trying to be myopic and stand up here and give you guys a bunch of bad news. I think the truth is the thing that will liberate us with all of this. Know thy enemy. Know what this system is. Because if we don't know what it is, we don't know where we can go, right? It's like the cliche too. If you don't know where you've been, you don't know where you can go. And so after 24 hours with my father, I just said to the doctor and the nurses, I want him off all these drugs. Cold turkey. Let's do it. And I'm prepared to take the consequences. And the doctor was like, yeah, you can do whatever you want. But one of the nurses was very, very opposed to it. And she says, well, our goal as the hospital is to make sure our patients have the most painless and comfortable experience through their passing. And I said, that's fine. But my goal as the father of my son is to have him experience his last little bit of life with somebody who loves him, so that we can share in this experience, because we're all going to experience it, and it is part of what makes us powerful and divine and amazing. And so I got him off the drugs, and I shared some of the most amazing experiences with my father in his last moments. And that wouldn't have happened if I would have just kept him on that deathbed, drugged up, going into who knows. But he wouldn't even have known where he was. And that's when I realized how this system works. They want it all. And that's what's going on now, is there's a last push to get everything. The people who really control this world, we know who they are. We don't have to name names, well, I named a few, but these central banking authorities, these globalist organizations that basically make money out of nothing. They print money, and us peasants have to go and work for it, right? That's how it works. And it's a system that worships money. We need to transcend that. We need to move to a place where we see there's more to life than just dollars and cents, paying your taxes, registering everything, right? And that's what's happening right now. And so I'm just going to check my time and make sure that I'm doing okay. So, all right, brother. There's some things that I've observed in my advocacy work for farmers across the world, but mostly really BC, that I've observed that are transpiring right now and have been for a very long time. So many of you know, if you know my videos and you watch what I do, I'm an advocate for sustainable and regenerative agriculture, and I've traveled around the world. I've been through many countries, and I've worked with farmers in all kinds of different places, and I've seen a lot of commonalities. And here in British Columbia, we have this thing called the Agricultural Land Reserve. And probably a lot of farmers here who are farming, you might be in the Agricultural Land Reserve. And it was 2 years ago, I was on a trip on the coast, and I was visiting a number of farmers, and I was just wanting to hear their stories about how the Agricultural Land Reserve has hurt their family legacy plantings. And there was a bill that came through, I forget the name of it, but it was the last amendment that they made to the ALC Act, which basically makes it more and more difficult to have your parents on the land with you and all this. And at that moment, I kind of had a wake-up call, because I'd done so much consulting and speaking in different countries with farmers, and I saw that it's the same thing everywhere. It might be the ALR Act or ALC Act here, but it's something else somewhere else. And what these things are designed to do is they do what every government policy does. It's called dual policy. And you really only find this if you actually read the acts. And believe it or not, I've actually read hundreds of acts and statutes in Canada. That's been my hobby and pastime, which I know it sounds really boring, and it is somewhat mind-numbing. However, once you start to find the proverbial gravy in this stuff, you actually thirst for more. And the first thing that I found in the Agricultural Land Commission Act of 1971, when I first read it, and I started on the definitions, And I read the definition in there of person, and it said, includes a First Nations government. What's that? Because do you know what includes mean in legalese? Yeah, inclusion. It comes out of the Latin legal maxim, which is inclusio, which is the inclusion of one is the exclusion of everything else. So when you read a legal document, it says includes. It just means that. Like you can go in the Motor Vehicle Act and read, this is a good one too, and this is why you get screwed by ICBC every time, is you can read the definition in the Motor Vehicles Act of BC and look at the definition of accident. It says, includes an intentional collision. Don't take my word for it, go look at it. This is how they trick us. And it's in a way how we got to where we are is because nobody reads the terms of service. What was the last software update you put on your phone? Did you actually read that 300-page terms of service? No. Because everything that sounds good is baked in virtue signaling and now social justice and issues like this, but it's absolutely loaded with things that will enslave you. And the Agricultural Land Commission is no exception to that. But so in the ALC Act, it says includes is a First Nations government. What the hell is that? And there's some probably deeper things to that. But what I have found, because I started reading the international treaties, so the International Treaty of Civil, on the Covenants of Civil and Political Rights and things like this, there's a new one that's coming, which we all need to be very concerned with. It's called UNDRIP. It's the UN Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. Now that sounds really good, because I'm all about rights of Indigenous peoples. I don't know about you guys, but I'm all about equality for all of us, treat everybody equally. But at the same time, I actually also kind of identify as Indigenous in that I was born on this land too. And I would actually make the philosophical argument that we're all Indigenous. But in the UNDRIP, they don't actually define Indigenous, which is really weird. And maybe there's remedy in that, maybe there's a problem, I don't know. But when I started to put these things together and I started doing consulting with other farmers around the world, I found these commonalities in all of this stuff. It's everywhere. Everything that we're experiencing now is going on everywhere else. And we might think that certain acts and statutes are exclusive to BC, but they're not. And what a lot of this ties down to is UN Agenda 21, which came out at Rio de Janeiro in 1992, was signed over. Now it's become Agenda 2030 because they didn't achieve their goal in time, so they had to kick the can down the road a little bit. But UN Agenda 21 is an absolutely mind-boggling document. If you have any sense of human rights, dignity, and sovereignty on the land, this document basically inventories and compartmentalizes and commercializes everything. And we can even see the tentacles of UN Agenda 21, even though it came out after the ALC Act came out in 1971. So something's going on here where there's things that are a lot deeper and are going to play a lot longer, and I think we all know that intuitively. But it's amazing when you actually read these documents, what you find. And so that's what we need to be aware of. We need to be aware that this isn't just about this Rona hoax, this whole nonsense pandemic thing that they've been rolling out for a year. None of the science backs it up, and this is all about the toilet paper. Okay? The toilet paper. See the way I see these global elite, it's really easy to kind of even though the term elite, we shouldn't even use that term because they're not elite. They're actually just a bunch of lazy assholes who don't want to produce any value. All of us folks here, we produce value. We go to work every day. We make stuff. We create value on the land, and we provide for our brothers and sisters, and we do so, and we pay all their taxes and all this nonsense. These guys don't want to do any of that. And that's what this is really all about. It comes down to the fact that they're not going to stop, and the toilet paper was the thing that worked, because often what they do is, I'm gonna swear again, my apologies, but they just throw proverbial shit at a wall, right? And they just see what sticks. And they throw out all these kinds of ideas, because you can look back in history and see what they've done over so many years. But they threw a bunch of proverbial shit at the wall, and the toilet paper thing stuck, and they were like, oh my God, this is it. It worked. They went for it. You know, it was on The Simpsons before. I mean, all these things they've been telling us what they're going to do. And so they've been rolling with this one. And if this one didn't work, they might have kept with the climate change one. They might have tried something else. You know, the war on drugs, the war on terror, all of this stuff is the same thing. It's a war you can never win. And so the pandemic is so perfect because they can continuously say there's a COVID-21, COVID-22, COVID-23, COVID infinity. That's how they want it. This medical technocracy is the perfect opportunity. So what can we do? Okay? You can know all this stuff, and sometimes I wish I didn't go so down deep the rabbit hole. Sometimes I wish I was just still a farmer and just was like on the land doing this stuff, because I think ultimately that's what it comes down to. But I think we need to take an account of who we know, who's here. Because when this medical apartheid thing becomes more apparent, it's going to be a situation where at first that vaccine ID thing will roll out. I think it might be by the end of this year, and you can't take an international flight. And then they'll kind of see how many more people jump on board with it. Because they, like I said, they throw shit at a wall and they see who sticks. And in today's online marketing platforms, it's so easy for them to play test what works and what doesn't, because they get real-time algorithms. What are the sheep falling for today? What's working? Let's go with that. And so they can refine their plans so much easier. So this vaccine ID thing is going to come, and then it's going to be just, not even 50% of the population will do it. But then they're going to increase the incentives. And I predict that in less than 5 years, if there isn't some amazing revolution or something that completely changes, which hopefully we will do, by talking about this, we wake people up, and then it foils their plan. But it's going to get to a point where you won't even be able to go to Home Depot without a vaccine ID. You won't go to the grocery store without a vaccine
salmon
ID.
arm.
So we
Salmon
have
arm,
time
British
now, because I think there's going to be there's going to be a while, right? Agenda 2030 is still 9 years away. It's going to be a while. So what we do is we start looking at 4 things that are most important, and then there's a bunch of things outside of that. So the 4 things that we must start taking accountability for immediately: food, water, energy, shelter. That is the 4 nexuses of human survival. Without those 4 things, you die, okay? But I'm not here as a farmer suggesting that we all become farmers, because that's not practical. Division of labor is needed, okay? But you need to look at all of those things and go, where am I getting my food from?
Thank you.
Where am I getting my water from? Where am I getting my energy from? Where am I getting my shelter from? All of those things, because without those things, you can't survive. And so we need to take an account of who we know and who we can depend on and who we will be there for too. Because I would say at this point, if you don't know at least 5 people that at the drop of a hat would jump up to make sure you were helped, you're in trouble. And you should make sure that you would do the same for somebody else. We need each other. We need to move forward with this without fear. We don't need to be fearful. We should laugh at these guys. It's a joke what they do. They literally just throw shit at a wall and they make cultural memes like toilet paper, and we fall for it. Well, we don't, but everybody else does. And so it's important that we come together and we start taking account for the things that we need in our day-to-day life. And I think everybody should be growing some food, or we all need to do the best we can. I don't want to imply that we all need to do all of it, because it's just not possible. But we really need to start taking account of where we get these things, because there will be a time soon where we're going to get cut off. And this is a nation. What we have here, we are sovereign men and women, divine creations of the Creator. And these people, they actually don't create anything. They get us to create it. They tell us lies and make up BS stories where they just recycle old ones. They don't even make up any new ones anymore. That's why Hollywood hasn't made anything new in 20 years.
This is salmon arm.
They just get us to do it. But that's the scam. Is the minute we stop playing their game and doing things the way we want, this whole thing stops. But I think the road to that point is going to take some time, and it's going to get a lot more difficult before it gets easy. But we really do. We need each other. And I think another thing, I just want to finish with this, is it's also really important to not play their game of dehumanization, because they're very good at it, right? They like to marginalize you, because that's actually what the old way of doing things was, the collectivist ideas, the racist ideas. Oh, he's a XYZ, so therefore, whatever. Some racial epithet or some sexist epithet. They do the exact same thing to us, and we need to call that out. Because by them calling us conspiracy theorists or right-wingers, they're doing exactly the thing that their apparent Nazis did, right? They dehumanize us, because when you dehumanize somebody, you can justify all kinds of bad things to them. We need to make sure that we don't do that to them. And it's very tempting, because you look around and it's very easy to call people sheep and call people things like that. But I would suggest that we don't do that, because if we play into that game of hate, that's what accelerates this whole thing. The state, the government, the corporations, they are just waiting for an opportunity for us to get radical so they can justify bringing down the hammer. And so we need to be very aware of that. And as Ted said, I'll express it again, it's all about love, it's all about compassion, but it's all about getting shit done. And I hope that we can all do that. So Mitch Murphy, the Red Pill rapper, is going to come up next. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, guys, once again, if you're just tuning in, we're in Salmon Arm, British Columbia, here at a rally for food freedom, food security, and that was the one and only Curtis Stone, the urban farmer.
Lose some keys out in that field right there? It's just a fob. Thank you very much, Curtis Stone. That was an earful. For any of you guys just catching up out there on figuring out what's happening, I'm pretty sure that was pretty happy for you. We thank you very much. And here we do have the Red Pill rapper.
Mitch.
Hello, everyone.
This is in Salmon Arm, British Columbia.
My name is, in fact, Mitch Murphy, and I am the Red Pill rapper. I'm just a good liberal out here with the message of live and let live, man. If you're an anti-facer, that's fine. You put yours away, but you leave me alone, all right? It's a funny thing, man. There's a lot of these people that consider themselves liberals and leftists that used to make points that kind of made some sense, but a lot of these points have been subverted in a very short period of time. My body, my choice has turned into your body, my choice. Down to our bloodstream, man. It's a mess. It's an absolute mess. They want on your face, they want in your house for Thanksgiving dinner, and they want under your skin. They want to give you this Microsoft prick to allow you to travel outside the country, man. But I'm not gonna take it. I'm not gonna take it. Me and my friends at the Resistance, we've been at this since the very initial 2 weeks to flatten the curve. We've just got this crazy belief, man. We're out of control. We've got this belief that regardless of what the government says, that we are free, sovereign individuals, man, and that we have rights to our own body and our own beliefs. Can you imagine? And all these radical extremists are now pulling turnips out of the ground with Curtis Stone. It's incredible to see, man. Curtis Stone's great. Hey, can we hear it for Curtis Stone, man? That guy's a legend. Well, you guys want to hear a song or what? Yeah. Oh. Sorry, guys. Wrong beat. Yeah. So these are liberty bombers, lockdown, sent me with a big scar, couple on my head, but time to time I know fraction and ask me, I don't think so. I'm trying to take much better care of my gun. I have another mile with a big smile. I'm out here acting all wild. We're the freedom people, we don't like it mild. Our women work hard and our men don't take breaks. When it gets hot, we just jump up in the lake and we can wrestle rattlesnakes. We don't want only race, keeping it at a fast pace. Unless you catch us Sunday morning, we say grace. And our leaders pull the stunt, it was a disgrace. Put a diaper on your face, don't you drink chase. Don't you dare talk about those death rates. Now don't you think about the debt that's gonna inflate. Now you better buy some toilet paper just in case.
1, 2, 3, 4, leave your rights at the door. 5, 6, 7, 8, tyranny you can't escape. 9, 10, 11, 12, I'm just here to ring my bell. We the people been through hell, what are they cooking, what's that smell? What they test, what they say, we just hit our second wave. I'm a reply with a K. If you got that muzzle on your face like you're looking at disgrace for your virtue signaling, I'm just trying to say that it's not okay. They took our rights away, they took the guns away. BLM's okay and corporate's okay, but don't you even think about a protest in that whole COVID quarantine lockdown thing? Because the liquor stores were open and the churches, they are closing, and the government is bloating from that CERB money flowing like it's so fulfilling. I don't work for a living, I just get my shilling from my government giving. So I'm so forgiving that my home's foreclosing. The next lockdown's gonna be so boring because I got no Netflix while I'm snoring, and I got no TV tricks for my programming. Like, what am I supposed to be afraid of today? Like, I don't want to think, will you just tell it to me? I don't want to feel okay, I just want to feel afraid. That way I don't ever have to use my brain. So take away my liberty and take away my gun. Take away my freedom and take away my fun. Take it away from everyone and hide me from the sun. Fauci told me major ouchie if I had my son. So 1, 2, 3, 4, leave your rights at the door. 5, 6, 7, 8, tyranny you can't escape. 9, 10, 11, 12, I'm just here to ring my bell. We the people been through hell, what are they cooking, what's that smell? I'm gonna play my flag, I'm gonna be right here. I got dissonant swag. Please stop forming, read all about it on the forum. Cooking up these rhymes like I'm on a George Foreman. Why they call me boss? Cause I be there for me. Hair's going grand, it's just for me. I need my back cracked, I need an adjustment. Now come join me up in the firmament. Thank you, people, thank you. We're gonna do a couple more. Thanks, brother. You know, a couple of my old friends, they keep calling me a conspiracy theorist, man. I don't know where all the theories went because just a couple days ago, Grace Life Church, you guys ever heard of that one? The police pulled up and did a double fence and they covered it with tarps so that you couldn't even look in, man. There's no theory, it's just conspiracy. All of our elected officials are conspiring together to divide us. And they're not hiding it anymore, man. Like, there's no more theory. Social distancing is literally, it's in the platform of every major party except the Libertarian Party and the PPC, man. Now I myself, I'm a libertarian shill. I love the Libertarian Party, man. Tim Moen, I like that guy, but that Maxime seems to know what's going on too. But at the end of the day, it is on us, because everybody here in this crowd accepts that the system does not love us and doesn't care about us. So it's on us to build something better. And that's, I appreciate you guys having me, because we got to make our own media and our own culture. It's time to stop complaining about the lizards at the top. And just make our own, man. Let's make our own.
Good man, I do everything I can. Got my feet up in the sand and about to crack a can. Like sippin', 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 sippin'. This is what good living could be really like now. Come on over here and don't you be shy. Come on, sit beside me, I will not be telling lies. Now look me in my eyes and you might just realize that. Realize, always realize and realize. Coming from the people that be looking on two sides. They got double vision and they got the devil vision from the television. Like they've been out hella fishing, trying to win the competition. All their morals, their vision, they are always bitching while they're cooking in the kitchen. Like they're doing long division, like they're lacking in nutrition. Like they got a crack addiction, like a bad mass infliction. Like a mattress they are flipping, like a Duchess they are hitting. They will not stop.
These people don't stop, man. They can't stop. Where'd your meat?
Good man, I do everything I can. Got my feet up in the sand and I'm about to crack a can. Like sippin', 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 sippin'. This is what good living could be really like. I'm a good man, I do everything I can. Got my feet up in the sand and I'm about to crack a can. Like sippin', 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 sippin'. This is what good living could be really like. Now I am not like Batman, I am just a bad man. I'm about my bread, man. Do not roll with a pack, man. Not breaking my back, man. Hungry like a Pac-Man, working till I'm dead, man. Never do a cake stand, I can pull right through it. When you could not do it, man, I'ma really do it. I'ma really pull through it. I'm a bad mother, and I know that I am. I could never quit, cause I always gotta win it. Every time I play Quidditch, I just always go and stitch it. Cause my brain is way smarter, like my name is Harry Potter. Like I never carry water for that other team. Looking like it's time to kick my feet up. Light up that blunt, let's light that weed up. I am smoking till I'm wheezing, coughing hard, and I keep sneezing. I'm a good man, I do everything I can. Got my feet up in the sand and about to crack a can. Like sipping, 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 sipping. This is what good a thing could be really like. I'm a good man, I do everything I can. Got my feet up in the sand and about to crack a can. Like sipping, 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 sipping. This is what good a thing could be really like now.
He's called the Red Pill Rapper.
Thanks, you people. Appreciate you, man. All right. Well, we better do another one, hey? I got a Jesus song. We got any Jesus fans in the house? All right, let's do the Jesus song. This one's a little heavy, man, but it's my testimony. We've all got a dark road. A lot of us have a dark road coming to Christ, man.
This is in Salmon Arm, British Columbia.
Free James Coates. I walk alone down these lonely streets of cobblestone. My head, it keeps on ringing and I'm stoned. Last night Cinderella took me home. That slipper did not fit over her toes. I'm acting like a child, but I'm grown. I used to have a heart, but it is gone. My eyes are vacant and they're overdrawn. That sinful life has turned me to a pawn in a larger game of Satan versus God. I picked the losing side, joined the squad. I'm rolling with the devil and I'm acting all disheveled. I could not get on the level of that churchy squad. Gave the devil that nod upon a godly body, but I'm popping all that molly. If I start to feel sad, I'll probably start to party. Cause I hate myself and I hate everybody else, but now I'm saved. Thank you, God, I'm no longer depraved. Freedom through your word, I feel brave. Smashing off my chains, I'm not a slave to the women, drugs, and liquor that I crave. Spilled his blood and in it I will bathe. I pray, Jesus, will you smash me on my grave? Cause I wanna live again, I don't wanna live in sin, I just wanna. I could never do it, I could never pull through it. Turned away from him and I never even knew it. Made some big money and I blew right through it. Broke a big workload, never chewed through it. Bought a new whip and now I'm cruising. Can't stop losing, can't stop losing behind the wheel. My eyes are drooping, I'm so faded that I can't take it. I just fear I'm never gonna make it. Build the metal with all the shovels. But I can all that shit with all that shit, I'm gonna rebel. Music up so loud I can't even think. Cops pulling up, thinking about me in the tank. Whiskey on my breath and lies on my tongue. That was my last chance. When I get another one, I'm having so much fun and now it's all gone. 4 concrete walls and I only get that one phone call. Who am I supposed to call? Cause that devil gave me dial tone. Now my sins I must atone. Jesus, are you there? Do you even care? I'm a filthy, rotten sinner and I'm not worth your time. Been living so wrong, I crossed every line. My head it keeps on turning, so please take away my burden. Now I'm saved. Thank you, God, I'm no longer depraved. Freedom through your word, I feel brave. Smashing off my chains, I'm not a slave to the women, drugs, and liquor that I crave. Spilled his blood and in it I will bathe. I pray, Jesus, will you smash me on my grave? Cause I wanna live again, I don't wanna live in sin, I just wanna. What is this life? Feels so nice, cutting through the tension with this knife. Now I get a chance to live another life. I get to live it right and I get to live it twice. I'm talking right now, that's no past life. Pay no attention to my past lives. I'm not gonna do it for the afterlife. Cause my road's paved with gold and I feel so clean. He took everything, every burden, every scar. Look at where you are, you've come so far. Now look at where you are, you're a warrior, a beast. The dog has done unleashed, the discipline is freedom. Now I'm rocking in his kingdom. I feel so free. Would you ride with me if I told you we could give you everything that you've dreamed? Foil every satanic scheme. He'll clear that smoke screen, clean out your eyes, and then he'll make you happy cry. Swear to God, he'll be your guy. You'll have his shoulder every time you cry. I'm saved, thank you God, I'm no longer depraved. Freedom through your word, I feel brave. Smashing up my chains, I'm not a slave to the women, drugs, and liquor that I crave. Spill his blood and eat it, I will bathe. I pray Jesus, will you smash me on my grave? Cause I wanna live again, I don't wanna live in sin, I just wanna live again.
Word.
Thanks, guys. We got time for one more cup? Is there water in my pocket, please? Oh, thank you. Better not be booze in here. I don't know if you heard that song. It's an interesting thought, and I've noticed that throughout the movement, is that freedom means very different things to different people. But we're fighting for all of them, man. We're fighting for all of them. It's all your freedoms or none of them, as far as I can tell, man. We're here to liberate Canada, right? Liberate Canada! Legalize barbecue, legalize church, man. That's it. Nothing crazy. Now, I wrote this one special, you guys. I wrote this one special for this event. I had Kyle and I had Curtis Stone in mind while I was writing it. I think you'll like it. Hey, I want to see people moving. Oh! You know I'm on a mission with my gun, I'm never missing, cause I got that crazy diction, and I battle with addiction, and I rattle in the kitchen when I'm cooking my rice, like I do it every time. I'm a red pill dealer, I'm just putting out a feeling, got that druthers in my hand, got my voice, I got my band. I'm just trying to build my brand without that cattle prod, I don't need that brand new car. I see I be looking for, they be like, who do you think you are? I'm a freedom fighter, I could not hit a penny lighter even if I tried. No need I get a bite, I don't need Kentucky pride, I just keep my eyes wide. Always tell me that I gotta get it soft, tell me that I gotta get a vaccine. If I wanna be free, if I wanna see my family, I gotta get stabbed, I gotta get jabbed. Yeah, my name is Red Pill, people call me Red Deal, people pay me big bill, spend it on a road to jail. And when I come, I take a road to still. Haters mad, you can hear them yell, Red Pill. He's a real red pill, he's a red pill, he's a real red pill, red pill, he's a real red pill. Come on, get your head bill, come on, get your red pill. Putting in that work, I'm trying to legalize church, legalize barbecue and legalize work. Got Doug Ford, and he's doing light work, got his team, and they're running full steam on the deco board. Rules for thee, but I guess they're not for me, cause my name is Mitch Murphy. You will never cancel me, you will never silence me, you will never tread on me. I stand for liberty, you stand for pharmacy. You stand for Stanford elitist dicks. Like, I will never take that Microsoft break. Like, my name is Suzanne, I'm about to click a new stand. What you gotta do, man? It's a rat-free zone. Sorry. Now I'ma go and get some. You can keep your mask on. Yeah, my name is Red Pill. People call me Real Deal. People pay me big bills. Spend it on a Ronatil. And when I come, I take a Rona still. Haters mad, you can hear them yell. Red Pill. He's a real red pill, he's a red pill, he's a real red pill, he's a real red pill. Come on, get your head bill, come on, get your red pill. So they all stay home, you can stay there with your TV on. Gotta not be trapped, and they're gonna make you lose it, taking all your money, gonna send it to another country, they don't even care that you gotta make him stare. Take that thing off, let your mouth breathe air. It's all fear there. Television, go to television, cause they're on a mission, cause as much division as they possibly can. Keep the people fighting so we never start uniting all the fires. I'm lighting, I'm tired. Not a quiet guy. Why they fast asleep? While they burn down our country, fast asleep. While they lock up James Coates, while they fast asleep. And I'm counting them sheets. Yeah, they call me red pill. People say me real deal. People pay me big bill, spend it on a Ronatil. And when I come, I take a Rona still. Haters mad, you can hear them yell. Red pill, he's a real red pill, he's a red pill, he's a real red pill, he's a real red pill. Come on, get your head bill, come on, get your red pill. Woo! Thanks, you guys. I got some haters out there. I got some haters, but they all stay home. So that's good. They're just good liberals, man. Just good liberals doing their part. Don't stay home, okay? Whatever you do, don't stay home. Get out there, get some vitamin D. Be brave, live free, take your vitamin D, and hug your family. That's it. It's okay. Everybody relax. It's all right. All right, you guys. That's it for me. Thanks for having me. I don't know who's up next, but I'm sure they're great, man. Is it? Oh, we got. Oh, you guys ready for a treat? We got Jacob Leahy in the house. Let's hear it for Jacob Leahy, man. A living legend in the flesh, man. There we go, I got it. Hello. Can we just give one more round of applause for Mitch, please? Thank you, Mitch. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jacob Leahy. I am here today to give a voice to those students who are too nervous to speak about a subject that is being greatly overlooked, the indoctrination of the youth. When you guys hear the word indoctrination, what comes to mind? Yell it at me. Go. For me, three main things come to mind: the youth, the media, and the school system. Kids are spending 6 to 8 hours a day at school, and then when they finally get home, they're going on their phones. And most of these kids don't even eat supper with their families anymore. So if these kids are never with their families, who is there to teach them besides the school systems and the media? And I think we all know how left-wing these things are and how much they push it. I'll give an example of how this works. If we had a bathtub filled with blue dye, and all of these students who go through the school system sit in that bathtub, and after years of sitting in that bathtub, they finally come out, what color will their skin be?
Blue!
Thank you, blue, yes. You see, we can't blame these students for coming out blue because they're not the ones who put themselves in that bathtub. I've been speaking to a group of students for about a year now and just gathering knowledge about what's going on. I'm not going to say their stories, but kind of just say what's happening to them recently. One student I know has had banana peels and other items thrown at her in class just because she can't wear a mask. Another student has been told she has depression and other mental illnesses like that when she doesn't. And this wasn't coming from an actual medical teacher, this was coming from a gym teacher. In schools, they're pushing biased political views in the classrooms and in our projects. For a few examples of this, I will give you a few that I've done in the past few weeks. One of my projects were called United Nations Peacekeeping. In this project, we were asked to give an example of why Canada should have a seat in the board of directors of the United Nations. Another question was asked on this project, and we were asked to say everything good that the United Nations has done to stop a war in our world. Or how would I share another bias project that I was recently assigned with? The newest project I was given was called the 30 Signs of Depression. In this project, it was quite simple. They gave us a list of 30 signs of depression, and we were told to choose 5 that we correlate with. Every day we struggle with it. And for all of you who know me, I consider myself to be a pretty happy kid. And I felt that the schools were trying to insinuate that every kid is depressed in some way or another. All these students who are too nervous to speak, I understand. I was once there. But I do have a message for you. You are not alone in this. Who here have children? Good, because today we are making noise for those kids. Because we are no longer voiceless, because now we are standing up. We are the resistance. Thank you.
Nice to hear from the younger folk. We don't hear that enough. Big hand of applause for Jacob. Thank you, brother. Do we have the wonderful, beautiful Marcella anywhere in the house here? Yeah, we got boots on the ground here. Everybody, we've got some education on masks, and we've got it from someone from Hugs Over Mask. Here is Marcella. Marcella.
Hello, Salmon Arm. What a beautiful day. So good to see you all out here. How many are here for the first time at a rally? Hi. Check it out, people. We need to get in touch with everybody we know that's sitting on the fence and invite them out. Because what they're going to hear today and any rally is truth facts. And I'm going to share a bunch of things with you today. I usually don't have notes, but because I'm doing a lot of statistics, and hopefully this isn't boring and dry.
We love you.
All right. So here we are today. What are we breathing? Fresh air. No masking. No masking. We have this God-given immune system, and we're using it. It's intricately designed to work efficiently, effectively, and perfectly. So go ahead, take a deep breath. Isn't that good? Right to the brain. Where do we need it? Right here. Okay. So I'm going to give a little introduction of who I am, where I come from. I'm First Nation mother, grandmother, freedom fighter. My name, Marcella, actually means warrior. Yeah, perfectly named. I used to work for First Nation Health Authority. I also worked for Métis Nation BC. I was the administrative assistant to the director of health. And last year at the start of COVID, they were putting out all their promotional agenda stuff, right in line with Bonnie Henry's office. And because of my position, I was privy to all that information coming down. So after the first couple of weeks, we were all sent home, and I worked at home for 2 weeks, and listening to Bonnie every day at 3, I had to shut her off because I didn't like her tone, I didn't like the things she was saying. I looked at a woman that was conflicted. Call me Bonnie, puppet on a string. Actually, I have to say I love Bonnie because I love doing her quotes, and I'm going to say some today too. And they kicked me out of her fan club. My feelings were not hurt, but it garnered me my first ever 30-day Facebook ban. Woo! Yeah, badge of honor. Okay, so working in this organization, I started to realize that there's only one side that they're ever promoting. And because, like Curtis Stone, I'm curious. I read things. I read the fine print. I go and I started searching on the BC CDC website, the BC Lung Association, the Canadian, the federal websites, the BC websites, on all the COVID information. And do you know at the beginning last year, they were saying that if you were sick, you shouldn't be wearing a mask? And then you'd go out in public and people would say, well, I'm wearing this for you. And I'd look at them and go, but are you sick? Because maybe you should be at home. Logical, I thought. So about summertime, I had kind of had enough and really couldn't take it anymore. And what I found is that the organization's policies and the things that the organization once stood for no longer aligned with my beliefs and what I could personally do within this organization. It grated at me. But you know, the wonderful thing is we have these rights and freedoms in Canada. And it was the freedom of conscience. And I took that and I exited stage right. Not left. They're left. I'm right. Okay. So which got me out on the protest lines beginning in April 18th last year was my first time ever protesting. And here I am today. 1 year later. Still coming out, still fighting, still researching, and still sharing, because that's what we need to do. So I was asked to speak about masks and the detrimental effects. Some of the things I started noticing right away was the mental health aspect. Locking people into their houses and saying you can't go here, you can't visit anybody, is isolation. Isolation kills. Has anybody lost a parent in a care home this past year? Yeah, there's some hands here. Were you able to see them? Did they die alone, drugged out by pharmaceuticals? Many of them have, right? So we have all collectively seen, I'm sharing a lot of bona fide, legitimate information because I'm a truth girl too. I like the facts and I like straight up. I'm going to share everything Bonnie and her cronies won't. So children and adults suffer with depression. Loss of events and activities like sports, going to concerts, festivals, fairs, proms, dances. There's a loss of physical touch from peers and family. Have you noticed that? Who's been booted from the family? Not talking to you. How about friends? Who's lost friends this year? Yeah, every hand, right? But we're family and we're friends, and this is where we're at, guys. This is our support network right here. So suffering, because people are afraid of other humans. Have you noticed that when they scoot by you on the street and they turn away and they walk back like this to go by you? Why are we doing this? They've lost identity with the masking. We can't see your face. Are you smiling? Are you frowning? Are you a grump? Are you happy? Who can tell? Headaches from chemicals in the masks and hand sanitizer. We've seen those videos lately. Have you seen them? Where all the particles and everything are starting to move in them, and Health Canada has recalled the masks because of all the junk in them, and they're telling us to put them on our faces. Who's been bullied for not wearing a mask? Chased out of a store? Oh, the joys of living. Teachers in Ontario started showing symptoms. Teachers of mask illnesses like constant headaches, nausea, vertigo, skin conditions, staph infections. Anybody seen any of those on the kids? Staph infections are very hard to get rid of. I've had them before and they are just noxious. So there's a study done in Germany that showed 20,353 people wearing masks. They entered a data from 25,930 children. The average wearing time of the masks was 270 minutes per day on children. The impairments caused by wearing a mask were reported by 68% of the parents. These included irritability, headache, difficulty concentrating, less happiness, reluctance to go to school and kindergarten, malaise, impaired learning, and drowsiness or fatigue. Jacob, you hit me with that last assignment that you had to do. I actually had tears in my eyes because they're coming for our kids and they're using our children. And this is so important that we need to stand up and we need to be a voice. Children need to be taught at home. We should not allow the government and our schools and our media to indoctrinate our children. I stand on biblical principles, okay? And one of them is we need to input into our children things that are right so that when they are old, they will not depart from these things. Input those good things now while their minds are impressionable. Protect our children at all costs. The widespread use of masks by healthcare workers may actually put them at increased risk of respiratory illnesses and viral infections. These are legitimate studies. Okay? The results of a randomized clinical trial to study the efficacy of cloth masks was published in the journal BMJ Opened. We don't recommend, and I'm going to quote Bonnie Henry here, we don't recommend that those that are well don't wear them. It is not an effective way of protecting yourself. Bonnie Henry. So a trial in hospitals in Vietnam split into 3 groups: those wearing medical masks, those wearing cloth masks, and a control group based on usual practice, which includes mask wearing. These workers were masked for every shift for 4 consecutive weeks. The study found respiratory infection was much higher among healthcare workers wearing the cloth mask. And what do you find in every store counter now? A cloth mask. The authors speculate that cloth masks retain moisture, their reuse gives poor filtration,
It's difficult to do it
and it
online.
may
Shit,
explain the increased
Yeah,
risk
we
of
appreciate that.
infection.
Thanks.
When did the cases start going up in our province? Mask use. The Journals of Life and Environmental Sciences says the study showed that filtering efficacy or efficiency of cloth face masks were relatively lower, and washing and drying practices deteriorated the efficiency. I'm just sharing what the science says that Bonnie is not following. What else does she say? She says a lot of stuff. I got more. Don't worry, I got more.
What's the tests?
Yes. So she also says, if I'm sick, if I'm out in public, it's not something that's going to protect me. Bonnie Henry. That conflicted soul. And she is. Her day's coming though, don't worry. There's a place reserved for her. The Journal of Epidemiology and Infection. There is little evidence to support the effectiveness of face masks to reduce the risk of infection. Science. Why are we wearing that mask? No mask. Respiratory acidosis develops when air inhaled into and exhaled from the lungs does not get adequately exchanged between the carbon dioxide from the body and oxygen from the air. Are they telling that on the news? Do you hear that repeat ad nauseum? Because I don't. Oh yeah, but wait. I turned off the news. I don't watch TV. I don't listen to the mainstream media. Face masks. This is from the Journal of American Medical Association. Face masks should not be worn by healthy individuals. Should not be worn by healthy individuals to protect themselves from acquiring respiratory infection, because there is no evidence to suggest that face masks worn by healthy individuals are effective in preventing people from becoming ill.
Blank screen.
Wear one.
Is that better? Do it still blank?
She following the science. A member of Dr. Alpay Azap, he's a Turkish doctor, says 15% of patients recover with oxygen support. People recover from viruses on their own, just like the cold and flu. Stats here, guys. The numbers are here.
Apparently it's a black screen. Are you guys getting it now? Let me
Dr.
know.
Lee Merritt said, I
know if
have
you
been
guys
a
can see
surgeon
me.
all my life. Until now, until 2020,
Okay.
I
Let
have
me know if you
never
guys can
heard
see
that
anything yet.
masks made a difference in viral transmission. She also said, masks don't control viruses, they control you. You want to know who the obedient people are? The ones that are wearing the mask. They're showing it outwardly. My family physician, when I went in to see her last year to get my mask exemption letter, she flat out told me, and she's from communist Poland, the mask isn't about a virus, it's about controlling the people. That's an awake doctor. Everybody needs to find one of those. So the case counts went up when implemented mask wearing was
Okay, guys, I
mandated.
may have to cut the
And now we're in
stream
the second
for some
or third
reason.
stage, and the
It's gone
whatever
blank.
wave, and the vaccine is happening, and now we've got all these new cases. Do you think it's from mask wearing, or do you think it's from the vaccine? How many people are dying from that vaccine, and they're not telling us? An article found on the Justice Center of Constitutional Freedom's website titled, "Mandatory masking is not backed by science or law," says, assuming for a moment that the spread of COVID-19 is actually reduced by forcing the public to wear non-medical masks, this still does not address the violation of personal autonomy and human dignity, which are protected by the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Have you heard that? John Carpay said that. And this is why we're here today, because we're fighting for our rights and our freedoms. They're trying to keep us apart so we can't talk to one another and share what they're doing. This is why I say everybody should bring 2 people to every rally. The ones that are sitting on the fence may hear something that puts them over. It's that tipping point. It's that one thing that they need, that they've been struggling with. Can I ask you, if you're going to share, don't argue with your friends. Don't argue with your family. Talk calmly.
Is it still a blank
Talk
screen,
in love.
guys?
Be compassionate. Share facts. Share details. Don't share what CBC says. Because I know they're trying to do that. So we all have that information that the media and Bonnie is not sharing. I want to thank every organizer across this country who is organizing every rally and every protest so that we can come together as a freedom-fighting community, and we have that opportunity to share what they are not sharing. One thing, just a quick note. Has anybody been on the BC government COVID-19 dashboard? No, okay.
I'm not sure what happened to the video.
Let
Just
me
went
give you a
blank for some
little
reason.
tidbit of information. Get on there and go down to the bottom right-hand corner in the fine print. Let me tell you what our government is about. Zero liability.
Yeah, I've tried switching
They
the
take
camera
no
from front to
responsibility
back.
for
Nothing
any
seems to be
error or
working here.
omission that they publish with those COVID-19 statistics on a daily basis. And those numbers may not even be for this current situation. So what situation are they for? What are they putting those numbers up? Where are they coming from? Who does it pertain
I'm streaming
to?
live on
What
YouTube.
disease?
This
What
isn't
sickness
Zoom
is
or
it
anything
for?
else.
Do you trust your government when they have no liability? You have no recourse against them if you look at those numbers and try to use them against them, because they've taken that. That's their disclaimer. They have no accountability to us. None. So freedom fighters, I want to say, I'm ending with this. Fight on, fighters. Don't let anybody steal your fire. It's here, it's burning. Keep standing up and keep speaking truth.
Okay guys, I'm not sure what's going on with the video stream. This is YouTube after all, and we're talking about food freedom here, so it's a good possibility it's being censored right now. So I may have to...
Let's keep doing this, you guys. We're on the upswing, and we're going to keep holding these sort of rallies. We've got them in Kelowna. We've got them here. We'd appreciate if all you guys showed up and started coming out, because we've got to show numbers. A united non-compliance is what we have to do going forward here. Just before we're wrapping up here, at the end we're going to gather with Susan Stanfield over by the flag. We would
Okay,
like
guys.
to bring all the mothers,
I'm going to go ahead and end this
fathers,
stream.
and kids who are concerned with stuff that's going on right now. She wants to gather a little group and see if she can start helping with the issues at school with masks and everything, but we're just going to gather over by the Canadian flag. On your way out, could you guys please do us the favor and start signing the petitions we have up there? And if you're interested in coming out to any more of these rallies, please sign up with your email, and we can get you
Okay,
the
I'll leave it going so you can
information
hear.
to get you to show up for these. We've got a special
I've tried
person
zooming
that
out,
just
I've
showed
tried
up
everything.
out of the blue for us, which we're very fortunate, and he's going to come finish this off with a little bit of old Canada for us. Woo! You guys, thank you so much. We appreciate everyone coming out.
Somebody tried to call me, and that interrupted the video.
We gotta take them and get them down here, though. Love you.
Okay. I don't really care to hear "Oh Canada," so
Yes, it is written into the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, and it's written into our national anthem. Freedom.
Okay.
True north,
Are you?
strong
We still getting a
and free.
blank screen?
Glorious and free. So here we go. We're gonna sing it. Okay.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream right now because we are no longer getting video, and they're going into the singing of the national anthem now. Can you guys see? Let me know if you can. It's a real shame to have to end this stream right now. Can you guys see me? No. Okay. Well, that's a shame. Because this was a great event, guys. I'm here in Salmon Arm. Came all the way to Salmon Arm. It's about a 7-hour drive for me, so I'm in town for the weekend to cover this rally. And it was really great. Gonna hang around, gonna maybe do some interviews with some of the speakers like Curtis Stone and others. Guys, if you appreciate my efforts to do this work, I do need your support and your help. One of the best ways you can do that is just clicking the thumbs up button and sharing my videos. But also we do need your financial support. You know, I had to get accommodations out here and drive out here for, you know, the weekend. I'm very, very happy to do it. But if that's something you guys appreciate, then yeah, check the links in the description to where you can contribute to my efforts here as I continue to document these rallies all across British Columbia. And yeah, I'm gonna go maybe talk to that Red Pill guy. We'll talk to Ted Kuntz. We'll talk to Curtis Stone. Yeah, I've tried everything. The zooming, the flipping the camera doesn't work. Unfortunately, technical difficulties, so I'm gonna wrap it up, guys. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching, for sharing, for supporting my work. Once again, please check me out at pressfortruth.ca/donate if you want to continue to support my efforts moving forward. Thank you so much, guys. And we'll talk to you later. Take care. Peace.